Hello and welcome to February's prompt in Stitch With Me in 2026. This is an online workshop where we spend the year creating prompts, one a month, to make for a fabric book. And at the end of the year, we'll complete the book. In the description below, there's a Facebook group where you can join and post your own work and share your thoughts on other people's work. It's a very supportive community. Now the prompt for February is stem stitch. That's a wonderful embroidery stitch that makes these gorgeous curved lines. And you can vary it, making larger stitches or smaller stitches to make a tight curve or a large curve. You can make a circle. You can make lines that continue or lines that just abruptly stop. And as the name implies, it makes a gorgeous stem of a flower. So there's lots you can do with this prompt. Let me show you what I do in my book. So I have my fabric page here. I pre-cut them all in the earlier video, and now I'm going to start on the second prompt. Because it's the stem stitch, I wanted to take a moment and just show you how to create the stem stitch. You can skip ahead if you're familiar with this stitch. Now to demonstrate it, I have my embroidery hoop here with some samples that I've created from the past, and I just want to show you the stem stitch. So I'm going to take a little marker here. This is an erasable marker that I buy in the office section, and I'm just going to create that curved line because of the curved stitch. That's what makes the stem stitch so beautiful, is it allows you to make a very smooth curve, whether really tight or really loose and long. Let me just zoom in here to show you how I do this. So I've threaded my needle, made a knot at the end, and then I'm going to come up just where I want to start the stitch. Now this stitch can be used as a back stitch or just a going forward stitch, and that's how I tend to like to use it. But there are times when I want to reverse it and start and just stitch backwards. Either way, it's the same technique. You'll come up where you want and create a stitch. Now the stitch length, it doesn't really matter what stitch length you make. It can all work out. If you want a very tight weave, you make smaller stitches. And if you want a larger weave, you make larger stitches. Then I like to come up in the midway point between my stitch. I just break the stitch in half and I come up on one side. Now it doesn't matter which side you come up, whether you come up on top or the bottom of your stitch, but you always want to maintain that same position. And then I make another stitch the same size as the first stitch. And then with my needle, I'll just come up right to where that first stitch ended. That divides my stitch in half perfectly. And I continue this all the way around the length that I want to make this stitch. It's a very beautiful stitch, and it kind of looks like rope when it's all sewn. If you want to make a very tight curve, you'll make really small stitches. You can vary the stitch length depending on the tightness of the curve. So if I have a very long length that I want to do, I can make the stitches smaller at the curve and larger at the straightaways. Here I am just turning around my embroidery hoop just for demonstration purposes so you can see it a little better. But I always maintain that stitch length and I try and go in approximately the same part of the stitch. I like to go in dividing the stitch in half. You don't have to do that. You can divide the stitch with just a little bit on one end or the other. That's up to you, and that's how you get the variation in this beautiful stitch. So I'll just continue stitching this entire little length here and show you how it looks when it's complete. It's quite lovely and it creates a beautiful curve. Now you can use all 6 strands of embroidery floss. I'm using pearl cotton here so I don't divide it. Or you can use 2 strands or 3 strands or any number you want. The stitches overlap essentially, and so that's why you can use any number of stitches. You're not dividing the threads. So this is how it looks when it's complete. I just love that curved line, and it kind of looks like the stem of a plant, and hence the name. So this is the stitch, that's the prompt for February 26. So here's my page, and I know I want to use those curves from that stem stitch. So I think I'm going to make all sorts of curves with this beautiful fabric. I have my colors here. And now I just have to choose where I want to put them. I really like the vibrancy of these colors. So I'm just going to create kind of a collage, more of stripes, curved stripes. I'll speed this along so you can see the design process, and then we can get started with sewing and adhering it to the fabric. Because I put fusible interfacing on the back, I just peel off the layers, and then using a hot iron, I can press them down. It's a temporary hold that I can put it in place before I start my sewing. And I really like this process, especially when I'm using lots of layers and I just need a little quick tack to hold them down. I personally don't like using pins. I'll use them, but I prefer this method for many things. So now that my fabric is tacked down, just before I start sewing, I just want to clean up the edges here by cutting off the fabric that overhangs the page length. I also wanted to show you on the back here how I have my fusible interfacing in place to stabilize the page. You can see that white square on the back of the fabric, and there's a little border. I cut the interfacing to the exact size of a finished page, and now I can just press over the side seams. So because I use the interfacing, I kind of have a sneak peek of what it's going to look like when it's done. Now I'm just going to follow the grooves with this black pearl cotton, and I'm going to create those beautiful curves. This stem stitch is perfect for that. So I'll go right to the border, in this case where the red and the orange fabric meet, and I'll start my stem stitch. Now I think the black is going to really make those colors pop even more, and that's what I'm going for with this technique. I really want to emphasize the stitch as well as those beautiful colors. So here's the finished page. I want to show you the back of my work as well. A viewer asked to see what the back of the page looks like. You can see the interfacing, you can see all the stitches, and the progress that was made. You can also see the knots, where my thread broke, all the things that happened to a sewing project. So I really like how this looks. The front looks like stained glass, and I have a nice border here so I can fold over the edges to complete the page when I add it to my book. I have another video coming out today that shows how I combine pages 1 and 2, and also how I add a label to it. This will really start to make the project come together, and you could start to see the finished book. So that's the February prompt stem stitch. I have another video that came out today that talks about how I combine my pages. So January and February will be combined, and so on throughout the year, March and April, and every 2 months. The end of the year, we'll put those pages to the spine and create the book. Well, maybe sooner than the end of the year, we'll put a few pages to the spine just so you can get a feel for it. But I like how this book is coming together. I can't believe we're 2 months in. I want to thank you all for posting your work and your comments on Facebook. It's a great and supportive group dedicated to Stitch With Me in 2026 and the works that you create for that project. Thank you for joining me today.